Drop, stitch, magic loop, slip, slip, purl, slip, slip, knit, twisted cord, wrap and turn, pick up and knit. Joe plays scarf. Joe plays scarf.
Hi there. Welcome to another episode of Joey's Scarf. This is episode 53. Today is Friday, August 20th, 2021. And it's coming to, my name is Lynda, and you can find me all over as Lynda Grace. And Joey's Scarf is a knitting, crocheting, yarn podcast. I'm coming to you from Barnegat, New Jersey, which is along the Jersey Shore. And today it is muggy, cloudy, humid, moisture in the air. So I decided it was a good day to sneak in a podcast. And today's episode is going to be mainly knitting and crocheting. We've been mainly sticking close to home. We have our community pool has opened, and we've been spending a lot of time there. So practically every day that it's nice, we manage to go to the pool for a little bit and get in some exercise of paddling around in the pool. So that's been what we've been pretty much up to. Eating out a couple of times, during the week, just to get a break from cooking. But other than that, we've been up to not too much. So let's get started with some knitting. Start off with my socks. If you are new to the channel, which I don't think there are too many new people, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you for coming back. But one of the things that I have been working on for the past several months is a project which I call 100 pair of shorties. So my goal is to knit 100 pair of shorty ankle socks, and there's no end date in mind. Hopefully I will live long enough to complete the task. But it could be years, who knows, But I'm steadily working my way towards the 100 pair. And I'm going to show you pair number 34 and number 35. So this is number 34. I love the color, I love the yarn. And the yarn is by Legacy Fiber Artz. And it's one of their, they sell little kits, I guess you would call it, but it's a half skein. So it's a 50-gram skein and then a 20-gram contrasting color. So this is where the yarn came from. And with this, I tried to do some lace just to add some interest. And I was following the pattern by the Easy Lace Socks by WinWickMum for these, and I did not read the instructions carefully, so they didn't come out exactly the way the pattern called for, but I still managed to get some lace in there, and I think it really looks cute. So let's see. So I've been knitting leisurely, I would say. Knitting leisurely. Not rushing to get anything done, just as long as I have some stuff on the needles that I can pick up during stressful times or watching TV or whatever. So I don't know if the socks are better on a sock blocker or not, but that's the socks. That's pair number 34. Okay, pair number 35. This again is the Legacy Fiber Arts, the half skein, the 50-gram skein with the contrasting color. And this time I did the Easy Lace Socks lace section of that pattern by WinWickMum. This time I did the pattern correctly, and they came out very nice also, and they're cute. Oh, that's pair number 35. Yeah, so I've done 35 pairs so far. Maybe next episode I will show you all the pairs at once, because it's quite impressive to see it that way. I had some leftover sock yarn, which is a goal of mine, to use up bits and pieces of sock yarn, because I find probably most of you probably order a skein of sock yarn, one skein, and that's 100 grams of yarn. There's no way, I mean, I always have so much left over after I knit a pair of socks. Even if I knit a full length leg, still have a lot of yarn left over. So I have all these little bits and pieces of yarn. So anyway, using up some of that, I just made some wrist warmers. And I think last time I talked about how my wrists, when they give me a problem, if I have these on, they seem to help. And when I'm talking about this, I wanted to mention, I got a comment from someone who wanted me to check out a link for a product that she used to help her with her wrists, and she put the link to the product in the comment, and it seems as though YouTube doesn't like that. I think that if you put a link in the comment, YouTube will not, it wouldn't allow me to respond to the comment. I could see it, but I couldn't respond to it. So I'm sorry, I can't find the comment, and I don't remember the person who sent it to me. So if you were the person who sent that to me, I apologize. I know you tried a couple of times to contact me through the comments section, and as I said, YouTube was not happy with the link, I believe. So my apologies for that. But the wrist warmers do seem to help soothe my wrists when I'm knitting, so I decided to knit these up. So I held these with 2 strands of sock yarn, two different yarns, to make those, just to use up the yarn, and they're practical. So one of my bigger projects is the shawl that I knit, and this is based on the Multnomah shawl. And I started the pattern and followed it exactly up through the garter, through the feather and fan section, which is here. And then I got tired of doing the feather and fan, so I just switched to stockinette stitch, and then a garter stitch border, and then I did a crochet edging here. Love the way this came out. I'll put a picture, some pictures of me wearing it, but I wasn't quite sure how this was going to work, because I'm using alpaca yarn for this. That's what this is knit in. I have quite a lot of alpaca yarn. Ross and I, a couple of years ago, found this warehouse. We were taking a ride in upstate New York, and we found this warehouse that sold yarn, and the whole warehouse was just full of mostly alpaca yarn in these big size skeins. And I just love the colors and the softness of the alpaca, and I bought quite a bit of it. But I haven't been able to really find a pattern that I liked knitting with the alpaca. I've tried a couple of different things, like a sweater or a hat, and it just doesn't seem to hold the structure. But I decided, well, let me try a shawl, and I'm glad I did, because this is it came out so gorgeous. And the alpaca, the brand is called Galler Yarns, and it just came out beautiful. It's so soft and flowy, drapes really nice, and I think it's going to be a nice warm shawl for the winter. It is very warm, but yeah, it just came out so nice. I loved it, and I liked knitting it. It was again another leisurely knit, and the colors just seem to work wonderfully. The gray, and then this skein has gray through it also, so it just worked great. So that's my Multnomah style shawl. I have to tell you that the pattern is no longer available on Ravelry. I had this pattern in my library for a very long time, and I went to look for it and found that the person who designed the shawl, she goes by Hello Kitty. She was not happy with Ravelry when they switched over to the new format, so she decided to take her patterns off Ravelry, and she's not offering this pattern anywhere else. So if you're lucky enough to have it in your library, you can still use it, but it's not available for purchase. And I have two works in progress. One is my 36th pair of socks. So I have this one completed, but I have to put the heel in. And this is Knit Picks Stroll. And I held it double, so it's like a DK weight sock. And then I had some minis left over from an advent, probably from years ago, and I just held two of the minis together to do the toe, and I'm going to do the same thing with the heel. And this is how far I've gotten with the second sock, so I should, be able to, I'll finish them soon. And that's my 36th pair of shorty socks. And this, a very tight knit. I hope it'll fit my foot. It doesn't seem to have much give, but I think that's because I'm holding it double, and I'm using a size, I think size 2 needle for this. Normally the socks I've been doing this with, holding 2 strands together, I think I've been using a size 3, but I decided to go down to a 2. And I cast on 48 stitches for this, 2x2 rib, and do the however long I want the little leg to be, and then knit to the length of my foot which is like 6 inches for me before I start the toe decrease. These are going to be very warm socks, even though they're shorties. But I made the leg a little longer for these. So that's my 36th pair. And last but not least, I decided to, one of the ways to use up my bits and pieces of sock yarn is to make a granny stripe blanket, afghan, whatever you want to call it. And this is called, the pattern I'm following for this is Sock Scraps Granny Stripe by Layla McCullough. And I will put any information that I think might be useful in the description box below. But I love the way this is coming out. It's going to be very big, I think, pretty wide. And it just goes on and on. And with this, I'm also holding 2 strands double, so it's a very thick blanket. And I just grabbing whatever colors I have, putting them, grab a skein here, a skein there, put them together, and this is the way it's coming out. I love working on this. Using a 4mm hook for this. A very relaxing crochet, and I think it's gorgeous, just gorgeous. When I'm done, I probably will put some kind of border on it, I think. I'm pretty impressed that the sides are coming out straight. Yeah, so that's my granny square. That's been a big project. The shawl was one of the bigger projects, and that's what I've been working on. So these are some of the little bits and pieces that I've been using. And, oh, here's a tub full of leftover sock yarn that I've made socks out of, or shawls, or hats, or whatever. And this is what I have left over. And this is going to go into the blanket. Some of the skeins like this quite a bit of yarn. I'll probably make another pair of socks out of this. Or like, you know, sizes like this I could use as to do another pair of socks. But little balls like that will go into the blanket. Okay, so I'm going to show you some acquisitions. So the Golden Purls, we're having a sale. This is a mother-daughter yarn company, hand-dyed with love and sass in New York City. Yeah, so I bought, let's take it out of the bag, but I bought this bundle with something in mind to make. And now I can't remember because it's been so long, I don't remember what I was thinking. I don't know, I'll have to figure it out. Or probably wanted to make a top or something like that. And now I have to find a pattern that will go with this. So I'm really pleased with their yarn, and it's very pretty. That's one of my purchases, Golden Purls. And then Chelsea Yarns was having a sale, and she was having a one-of-a-kind sale. So her sales are really good. So I got this, and this is called Scottish Plaid, and it's one of a kind. And this is 100% superwash merino, and it's DK weight, and it's got some of that striped yarn in there. Let's see. Don't know what I'm going to do with this. Maybe a hat. I don't know. But I have starting to accumulate Chelsea Luxe yarns. And I don't know. I just don't want to break into them. So this is my stash of Chelsea Luxe yarns that I've accumulated over time. Because they're just so beautiful. And I don't want to break into them. I don't want to use them just for socks. Harvest Moon. So I don't know. I'm just, this was her first skein of her coop collection. She's got chickens that she raises. And she decided to do a coop collection for each one of her birds. So I got the first one. I didn't continue on with that collection, but I got the first one. And I always love the stiletto and jeans. So it's part of my collection. And then, what's this one? This one is no color. Luxe Coop Sock. Maybe another coop? I don't know. It's pretty. And then I bought these at 2 different times. And let's see, are they the same? This is DK. This is Candied Apple. Candied Apple. Pretty. So I have 2 skeins of this I can do something with. But that is my Chelsea Luxe collection that I'm building here. I got to start using this yarn, right? And then Knit Picks was having a sale. So I decided to get some minis. And I have to tell you a little story. Ross and I went to my niece's wedding a week ago. 2 weeks ago. And my other niece, the bride's sister, has 3 daughters and a son. And I just don't, I mean, we haven't seen each other, of course, because of the pandemic, and, you know, people are busy with their own lives and whatever. So this is the first time a lot of us have seen each other in a long time. So my niece's daughter, Katie, hi Katie, if you're watching, was very, it's embarrassing, but she told her mother she felt like she was meeting a celebrity because she watches my podcast. It's just like very embarrassing. But I said to her, "Are you a knitter?" And she said, "No, but I'd love to learn." She's 16, Katie. And I said, "Well, I will teach you. I'm always up for doing that. And maybe you can be on my podcast." And she was very agreeable to that. So while I was shopping at Knit Picks for my minis, I saw that they have a beginner kit, a knitting kit. So I bought the beginner kit. It comes in a box with all the yarn, the needles, an instruction booklet, and links to videos. And I sent that to her. I think she should get that today, so I hope she's thrilled with that. And I would love to breed a new knitter. My daughter tries. She loves to buy the yarn, just like her mother. But then when she sits down to, well, she's busy. She's a full-time worker, and she works full-time. She's got 3 kids, so I can understand being busy. And my granddaughter, I taught her, but, you know, 16, 17-year-olds, 14, 15, they don't want to sit and knit. Maybe eventually they'll remember that I taught them, and at some time maybe they'll get the bug. So I'm counting on you, Katie. Anyway, these are the minis that I got from Knit Picks. And this is a Stroll tonal mini pack. And these are purples. Yeah. They are This is 460 total yards, 20 grams each, and it's such a reasonable price. And they are 75% merino and 25% wool. So I can either use these in my blanket, or I can use them for heels and toes and cuffs. And I think, if I remember correctly, I think I paid like maybe $3 or $4 a skein, which that's what it worked out to be. So you can't beat that price, you know. Nitpicks. All right, so I've been buying some patterns for future projects. So one of the patterns I bought was a Stephen West, and it's the Dust Land Shawl for future. So today I bought a pattern, the Leftover City Cowl. This was on sale too, and it's by Casey Herlihy. And the description is, the possibilities are endless for the scrappy colorwork cowl. Leftover City relies on simple graphic colorwork repeats and staggering in new colors, allowing you to practice knitting with 2 colors. So I think I'm going to start that as soon as I finish my socks, because I really like it. It'd be a good way to use up those minis. So I will put that information in for you. So those are the 2. I kind of doubt that I'm going to... I started the Stephen West one. I started it with the alpaca, didn't like the way it was coming out, so that's going to be a future project. Ross wanted to say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
People have been missing you. What have you been up to? So you've been going to physical therapy.
Ta-da.
How's that going?
Physical therapy is good. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
I really sweat my butt off.
Yeah, well, that's
I
good.
really do.
Yeah.
And I'm thrilled with it. I've been trying to sneak it 3 times a week in. As you can see, right here, right now, I'm trying to squeak in 3 times a week now. I've already gone twice this week.
Yeah.
And I have 1 more to go. I'm doing 3 days a week, and I think I'm pretty solid in what I'm doing with it.
You've been going to the pool?
Off and on. If it conflicts with some of the swimming stuff, or my body feels tired,
Yeah.
which I've had quite a bit of.
Yeah.
But things are looking up.
Good. How'd you enjoy the wedding?
It's a nice wedding. My brother-in-law's daughter.
Yeah.
On with the wedding.
Yeah. It was nice to get dressed up and go out, right?
Real shoes.
Right.
Real built. A built. I wore built.
Jacket, tie, the whole
I
9 yards.
did it all up.
Yes. Ashley was a beautiful bride.
Ashley is a gorgeous woman.
Yes.
I think she's one of the most beautiful women I've seen.
She's got long red hair. Gorgeous.
Beautiful, beautiful girl.
Yeah. And what else have we been up to? Oh, your trip, we took a ride to Nyack. So what is Nyack? To
Nyack. What is Nyack today?
you? To you.
To me, it's my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
my hometown.
Was it good to see your hometown? You didn't have much time, right?
I didn't have it. It's just as well.
Yeah.
I would have gone into a maudlin chant, beat on the Tommy drums,
It's
and
a beautiful day, and we decided to take a ride. It was a long ride, 2-hour ride.
it was beautiful.
The day was beautiful. We went down. Nyack is on the Hudson River, and we went down. We went to the Hook Mountain Beach and sat there for a while. It was very peaceful and beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was a good day. A long trip, 2 hours there, 2 hours back, and maybe an hour there visiting. Yeah.
Did we visit with anyone I know?
No, we just didn't have time.
No.
It was a last minute thing. All right, so anything else you want to add before I say goodbye?
Stay safe.
Oh, okay. Bye-bye now. Thank you for visiting with us. So that's it for today. And I hope everyone is staying safe. Ross and I are both vaccinated and double vaccinated. And I thought we were home free. But apparently this Delta virus is a nasty, nasty little bug. So gone back to wearing masks in the stores and trying to be careful again. And hopefully, I just want this to be over with. I'm sure everybody else does too. Yeah, so I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope you're getting a lot of crafting done and everybody's feeling okay. I want to say hi to Kay. I've been exchanging emails with her, and I have some things in common, and I think about you, Kay. I think that's about it. It's going to be a short little video. Maybe we'll take some pond pictures today. I haven't done that in a while, but I'm a little afraid to go over by the pond because of the creatures that might be around. Apparently we've been having some snakes, and that's not my thing.
Big snakes.
Yesterday, Ross and I were sitting on the bench across the street by the pond. And it's right on the sidewalk area. And this man pulls up in his car. And he gets out of the car, and he's got this cage. It's like a long, narrow cage, and he's got a pink towel draped over the cage. And I'm like, what is this guy got in this cage? And he walks over to the pond in between the trees, so we can't see him. But I see him like through the trees, kneeling down. Looked like he opened the cage to let something out. I don't know what it was.
A person.
I think the only thing I could think of, it had to be a snake. What else could it have been? So I'm a little worried now about going over there to take pictures, but I will brave it. Okay, enough yattering and babbling, and I can't think of anything else to say. So I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next time. Bye now.